Hello, all of that joined right now. I'm Tyler Hansen with Art Jetter. We're going to sit a couple of minutes just waiting on the rest to register to trickle in. Just bear with us for just a second. Hello, those of you that just joined recently, we are just waiting. Give it a minute or two more to wait and see if everybody can get in, and then we will start our presentation. Okay, it looks like most of the attendees are in, so we're going to go ahead and start. I wanted to say hello and welcome to Explore Opportunities with Assurity DI. I wanted to thank you guys for joining the webinar. I am Tyler Hansen. I am the DI specialist with Art Jetter and Company, and I am joined with Assurity's Travis Bryan and Jeff McClendon today, the regional wholesalers. We'll be going over some key topics for their carrier. And if you have any questions, I put the question box up and the chat box up. Feel free to ask any questions and put it in there, and they will be answered at the end of our presentation. Without further ado, I will hand it over to them, and I appreciate you guys joining.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tyler. We really do appreciate you including Jeff and myself in this topic today. As you can see from here, and probably what you've seen on America's Most Wanted, Jeff McClendon and Travis Bryan, we are your sales support team here on any individual product that you see listed there. We are going to spend a little time today going over our DI, but we will talk about a couple new products that we have available for you as well as some updates in the Assurity portfolio that we think might make sense for you guys. But again, we are your points of contact here at Assurity. So if you guys do need anything and can't get a hold of Tyler, you are more than welcome to reach out to either one of us at any time. Before we get into the products and everything, we always like to talk a little bit about Assurity and who we are, just in case you're not familiar with us. But we have been in the business a little over 130 plus years. We are a certified B Corporation. If you're not sure what that means or what that is, just kind of in short, what we're doing is we're putting people and planet at the same level as profit. And they do have a website, certifiedbcorporation.net. If you want to learn more about it, go ahead, take a look and see what's involved with becoming one of those. But we're very proud to have that designation. And then we're also proud to talk a little bit about our customer service. We've been named America's Best Customer Service in Newsweek the past 2 years running. We look to keep that designation in, for 2023 as well. But in short, we're really here to make things as easy as possible for you and for your clients.
Hey, Travis, I'm not seeing the slides advancing on my side here. Tyler, I don't know if it's still on that first slide.
Still on the first slide. Okay, well, let me do you see products and process now?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I had that paused on the first one. So as far as products and processes, as I mentioned, we have a full portfolio really designed to protect against life's 3 risks. You guys all know those: death, disability, and illness. We have some great underwriting options, the instant decision that is available through simplified and accelerated underwriting. We also have options for fully underwritten as well. And then we also like to talk a lot about support before and after the sale. We talk a lot about great service as part of our DNA. You're much more than an agent number to us. We try to create personal ties so we can be there when you need us and how you need us. That's also giving you access to our underwriters to help with those risk assessments on complex cases or for answers to your next questions. And then also our award-winning service and sales team are there to provide you with unmatched service for whatever you need. And then we're always just a quick call or click away from you and your clients, where you'll get fast, friendly support from a real person in Lincoln, Nebraska. And then the last piece, talking about our claims staff, they're very experienced and service oriented. And it really helps making working with us from e-apps, competitive compensation, training tools, and more, really as easy as possible for you. And again, together we make doing business easier for you. Some of those prospecting and sales tools that we have is not going to be too different than most carriers out there. We obviously have sales ideas and strategy guides that we can provide to you. We have a great social media guide that has already set social media posts that you can just copy and paste. You don't have to do any work yourself. We have great brochures and videos that are available, friendly quoters. And then we talked about our e-applications, instant decision, and our quick start platforms that help you get that instant decision right then and there when you're talking with your clients. So today's agenda, we're going to talk a little bit about what we learned in 2023, some trends and data that we saw. We're going to talk about some updates to our illustration platform. We have a new foreign resident program that we would like to talk to you about and see if there's opportunities there. Going to give you an update on our disability products, and then we have a new accident and expense product we want to get out to you as well, and then we'll open it to questions at the end here. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my partner, Jeff McClendon. He's going to talk about what we learned in 2023, some trends and data, kind of give you some arsenal to fight with in 2024 to help you with some new business. So, Jeff, if you want to go ahead and talk about that, go ahead and let me take over.
Absolutely. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And I'll start off by saying this slide and this conversation, this topic is very important to me because I think, in order to figure out where we're going in the future, we need to learn from the past. When we look at, the data from 2023 and even before going all the way back to COVID, there's a few things that really resonate with us as a company and that resonate with me as a wholesaler, as an insurance agent myself. Number one, we're still asked about COVID quite frequently. What impact did it have on your business? All of that good stuff. The interesting thing, COVID did a lot of horrible things for this world, but there's also some positives. And in our business in the insurance industry, one of the things that COVID did for us is it forced insurance companies to use data on consumers to simplify and expedite the underwriting process. I mean, we all remember those when we were all in lockdown. There was no paramedics, labs, exams being done. And so we've had to embrace that as an insurance industry. Thankfully, Assurity is a leader in the technology space. We are a very tech-forward company. So it allowed us to just continue to grow and excel in that space that we were already in. Looking at consumers, and this consumer data is super important. Consumers today are especially interested, and keep in mind what we're dealing with in crazy inflation right now. Consumers today want the absolute most value that they can get, which makes sense, and they want an easy process. So I like to use the term quick, fast, and easy. If we can offer you all products that you offer to your clients, and we can make the process quick and fast, pretty painless, and from the consumer standpoint, we can make it easy for them as well, with robust products that offer a lot of features and benefits. And that's one of the things Travis is going to chat with you about, is just in addition to having a multitude of products, we give you the option of truly customizing the coverage for your customers. So COVID has helped us, forced us to use technology, so much so that we offer on a lot of our portfolio instant decision. And when I mean instant decision, I'm talking about you go in there and quote, you apply, you get that instant decision. We capture, bank account or credit debit card information, and we have bound coverage and we move on. It's a really, really quick process. So consumers want quick, fast, and easy. They want the most value. And I think that's why Assurity is really growing, because we have an entire portfolio of products that are prime for this market. So Travis, with that, I'll hand it back over to you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate the update on that. With that, we're going to give you another quick update here before we jump into the product. Just wanted to let you know, for those that do get out on our agent portal, AssureLink, and have gone out there and utilized our illustration tool before, you go out up to the right, up to quick links. And then once you would get up there, you would see life portraits, illustrations. Well, there's another one in there called Illustration Pro. And basically what you're going to see is life portraits illustration is going to be your tool for all of our health products. So that's disability insurance, long-term, and then also our critical illness, as well as our accident expense will be out there. And then Illustration Pro is going to be specific for all of our life products. So term, whole life, universal life, single premium, whole life. But just wanted to make sure that you were aware that that is available. So when you go out there, you're not trying to figure out which one is which. Just know we have life portraits is for health and Illustration Pro for life. Another update or newer area that we wanted to get out to you and let you know we have available is our foreign resident program. A lot of you on the call that may know it by foreign national, but we call it the foreign resident because it's truly unlike any other foreign national program that's out there right now. And the reason for that is Assurity is a middle market company. And so our program, to be different and fit that model, had to go after a different clientele. And so we're not looking at the clients that are, making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, looking for policies that are 5, 6 million. We're looking for those middle income clients, maybe even small business owners that are right up the street from you, that are looking to get protection to really solidify their savings and also their home for should something happen to them in the future. So we call it the foreign resident program. And there's really 3 areas that we look at for this foreign resident program. The first one's going to be Canadian citizens. These are going to be individuals that are in the US on a passport or possibly own residential or have a business in the US that they can come and go as they please, but they have that passport and eligibility to do that. The second one's going to be non-US citizens with a valid visa. So maybe they've been here 1 year or more and they are either on like a work visa or they're on a K-1 visa, looking to get married, things like that. But they just, haven't gotten maybe their full green card yet, but they're just on one of these visas while they're over here. We can consider them. And then the third one is really where we see the opportunity and the potential for this product. It would be those non-US citizens without a green card or a visa. So let's say it's somebody that's been here, 5 years or more, they're doing everything right, they're paying their taxes, they're doing everything that they need to be doing. They just don't have that green card or visa. We're going to be able to provide them an opportunity to get insurance through Assurity without having to have that green card or visa. They do have to have a valid form of government issued identification, so that's driver's license, state ID, ITIN number, etc. And they do have to be at least 18 years or older. But what products are available? It's going to be available on our term, our whole life, and universal life, up to a max coverage amount of $1 million. So again, it's really speaking to that middle income space. Issue ages 18 to 70. And then we do have a couple riders that are available. On our term product, we're going to have that return of premium. I will tell you, our term with return of premium rates are the best in the industry. And that's not me being biased because I work here. That's just comparing the data and showing the comparisons. We do come out the best with that ROP. And then on our whole life and universal life, we're going to give you that term rider to be able to accomplish a term-perm blend, to be able to give your clients some different options. As Jeff mentioned, we're really big into providing you with options to be able to customize that coverage. And this is no different in this arena. And then the final piece is we're going to be able to take them at a table 4 or better, all the way up to preferred plus. So we have some options for those clients to be able to get in, not just at standard, but we can do table 4 or better for them. And with that, we'll switch over to what everyone was here for, talk a little bit about disability income and our Century Plus long-term disability product. We did make some updates on the product, so we will go through that. But as far as marketplaces for our product, you've heard me say it a couple times already, middle income America, right? We've been doing this for 133 years. Disability was actually the first policy we ever wrote. So we also talk about disability being part of our DNA. We know how it works. We know how to make it work well. And we're a big influence in this space in the middle market. So those clients you're looking, 25 to 55-year-old working Americans, household incomes between 35 up to 200,000. And then we have some occupations that really fit well with us as well. Nurses are one. We actually consider nurses in a non-surgical setting to be our top occupation class, which is 4A. And then we will consider them full-time at 24 hours per week versus 30 hours a week for all of our other occupations. Realtors, management occupations, another couple ones that you'll see on a regular basis. But the third one down there, chiropractors. This is another huge area for us. There's not a lot of carriers out there that will actually write disability income for chiropractors. We are one of the few carriers that will still do that. So we see a lot of chiropractor practices coming through and getting coverage for them. And then the last one I'll mention, police, fire, and EMS. We know, the ones that are working the DI space on a consistent basis know that police, fire, and EMS typically have something built in for them while they're on duty. So some of those end as soon as they're off duty, so they have no coverage. And so we'll see a lot of police, fire, and EMS that will come to us for an individual policy and be able to have that cover them while they're off duty. So that's another reason why we see police, fire, and EMS as a prevalent occupation class for us. And then the last piece on the marketplace is small business owners. We're able to actually provide some enhancements for small business owners as long as they own at least 10% of the business and have been established, I believe, for at least 2 years or longer. We can provide a 20% income enhancer, so really maximize their potential for benefits. We can also offer an occupation class upgrade. There are a few where we can't do that. That would actually be a farmer, a truck driver, or anybody in the medical field. Those would be the 3 occupations we can't offer a class upgrade, but anything outside of that, we can do that. And then if they can, as a business, can get at least 3 policies issued or submitted to us, for their company, we can actually give everybody that applies a 15% multi-life discount. So it just gives them a discount. Great thing about these, because they are individual policies, if that employee leaves the company and takes that policy elsewhere, that discount follows them wherever they go. So now we talked a little bit about the markets. Let's talk about some of those updated highlights that we had. As the product itself, it's available ages 18 to 60. That didn't change. Occupation classes are still the same. We're 4A down to 1A, 4A being our top occupation class, 1A obviously being our lowest. Monthly benefits still remain the same, 500 up to 20,000. Benefit periods, we added back the 1 and 2 year benefit period. So now we're going to give you that option to have a little shorter period of time, but still be able to get a larger benefit compared to our short-term disability. Elimination periods didn't change, 30 days all the way up to 365. It is guaranteed renewable still to age 65 or 67, and then we can conditionally renew it if they're still working up to age 75. No medical exams for ages 18 to 50 for benefit amounts up to 6,000. We did up that from 5,000 to 6,000. And then no income verification for W-2 employees who aren't self-employed up to 6,000 as well. Again, that changed from 4,000 to 6,000. So what does it mean with all these changes? Well, what we're trying to do is we're recognizing what you are telling us out there in the industry and what you're seeing when you're meeting with your clients. You want higher limits to be able to get them through with no medical exams and no income verification for quicker policy in place to help get them covered a lot sooner. So we're trying to accomplish that by giving you higher amounts to be able to get those through quicker and get those policies in place so they don't miss out on any days they possibly could be injured and be receiving benefits. We do have some optional riders that's going to, again, speak to what Jeff was talking about earlier, where we really want to be able to provide you options to be able to really tailor that coverage to your client's needs. We threw the cookie cutters out the window and gave you everything that you could possibly need to really tailor that. So these optional riders are available. Some of the ones that we see on a consistent basis, the third one down is going to be return of premium. That's a great benefit. If you have somebody that's worried about not using the policy, we can put in a return of premium benefit. And then when they cancel or get rid of their policy, then we can return them a portion up to 100% of their premiums, depending on the age or when they would surrender. Own occupation rider. It's key to know that our policy does have an own occupation rider built in for the first 2 years. After that, it does switch to any occupation definition. So we have the rider that is available that clients can add on at additional cost to extend that out for that own occupation definition. We have a critical illness rider that they can add on that'll pay them a lump sum benefit should they come down with a first ever discovered critical illness. So it just helps provide some stability and some really stress relief, knowing that they're going to be getting some money that'll help pay for their bills while they're not working. We also have a guaranteed insurability rider, which is probably one of the top riders that we see. This is the one that if they add it on, should they get an increase in their salary and they're looking to get a higher benefit, if they have that on their policy, they can come back and just show proof of the new salary without having to do any type of medical underwriting. We're just going to look at the new amounts that they have available to them, and then we're going to provide that to them and let them know what the premium is, and then they can either accept or keep the older policy as is. We do have some product and underwriting updates that we wanted to let you know about as well. Talking about newly self-employed, income considered will be 75% of applicants' annual documented income. That's something new that we implemented. Also, self-employed with minimal income, we are going to be able to consider up to $1,500 monthly benefit. So these are newly self-employed individuals that may not have a full year's worth of tax incomes. We would be able to consider, or even farmers kind of fall really into this category. We know farmers a lot of times aren't showing all the money that they possibly have made or were given themselves, so they can really handcuff themselves when it comes to benefits So we're able to build in this type of consideration without having all that income that they would normally provide on a W-2 outside of farming. New professionals that are just new into the industry, this may deal a lot more with medical professionals that are just getting ready to go into their residency or graduation of their residency program, but haven't taken on their full job and gotten their full salary yet. We would be able to consider them eligible up to $4,000 a month for those new professionals. We talked about the 1 and 2 year benefit periods being back, and then also the non-med financials up to $6,000 for the clients to be able to get those through as quick as possible. Another product I'd like to talk about is our accident and sickness product. This is our short-term disability product. So this kind of goes hand in hand. We are currently the only carrier that does have an individual short-term disability product. What you're going to see is a lot of similarities to our long-term product as far as age issues and then also occupation classes. But the biggest difference you're going to see is the benefit payments and the benefit periods. The benefit payments are paid on a weekly basis versus a monthly. And then for those self-employed, we can go up to a max of $600 a week. And then for W-2s, it's $1,000 a week. And then those benefit periods, short-term, we do 13, 26, and then we have the 1 and 2 year available as well. And then the elimination periods, we can go as low as 0 all the way out to a max of 90 days, depending on the benefit period chosen. And then this product is also guaranteed renewable. So as I mentioned, when we were talking about the long-term, having that 1 and 2 year benefit period back, as you can see, being a 1,000 max weekly, that's about 4,000 in a 4-week period. If you compared that to our long-term, you would be able to get more of a max benefit, obviously depending on your salary, than you would on the short-term. So we like having that 1 and 2 year back on the long-term for those individuals that can push it out a little bit further, but we do have those shorter-term periods available for you. On the flip side, we do have accident only available as well, which obviously is just going to give you a lower premium when you're only covering accident, not sickness as well. But all the same rules apply for that product as well. And then keeping with the theme, we do have some riders that are available on this short-term product. Family care rider, that's going to give somebody the opportunity to be out on short-term leave. We call that FMLA, if they got approved for FMLA, to go take care of like a sick child, sick spouse, or maybe even a sick parent. We would be able to pay them half of their benefit amount that they are qualified for while they are out taking care of that sick family member. Return of premium, obviously, again, going to return that premium should they never use the policy. And then our stay-at-home spouse rider allows the insured to put a stay-at-home spouse on the policy and get them coverage. We know that those stay-at-home spouses are very important to the day-to-day life and keeping things going while the other spouse is out working away from the home. So if they are not reporting any income and they become sick or injured and are on that policy, we would be able to pay them up to a max of $250 a week for while they are out sick or injured. So I think that's a really big rider that not very many carriers can really attest to or be able to supply a need or a policy for those stay-at-home spouses.
And Travis, you bring up a very good point there that I'd like to kind of expand on, and that is, most advisors out there don't think that you can get on insurance on a non-working spouse, somebody that doesn't have an active income. And like you said, for the most part, that's true, but there is a definite value to that stay-at-home spouse, especially when there's children involved. So yeah, great rider.
Yes, thank you for that, Jeff. All right, so that really takes care of our disability side. I do want to talk a little bit about another health product that we just came out with towards the end of last year in the 4th quarter, and that is our new accident insurance product. Financial support when accident expense happens. We know that, a lot of times you may be juggling costs of certain medical bills, co-pays, cost of living, depending on where you live, deductibles, things like that. These things can really hamper you if you have an accident or illness and you have to go to the hospital to have some type of procedure done. These can really put you in a bind if you haven't saved or have enough in savings to really take care of that. So we have a product that really kind of speaks to that. It's 3 plans, and it can be coverage for families, individuals, or even just for juveniles. It is guaranteed issue, no medical exams or tests, and you can do it simply, quote, online and go right into the application. No networks, deductibles, or copays. We can do this for issue ages 18 to 70, where the primary insured or spouse, and then we could do ages 15 days to 17, where they would have a primary insured or dependent would cover that child. We could do 24-hour coverage or just off the job. Those 3 plans you're going to be able to choose from are base, advantage, and complete. Base is going to be, it's kind of like your good, better, best scenario. So base would be good, advantage, best, complete, better, or better, best, sorry. And then of course the benefits and benefit amounts will vary by which plan you choose. And then we include in the policy a common carrier benefit and automobile seatbelt benefit. The common carrier benefit just means that if you were to pass away in any type of transportation that requires a fare, so Uber, Lyft, taxi, trains, planes, buses, all those, we will double the death benefit to the beneficiary. And then the automobile seatbelt benefit states that if you are wearing your seatbelt and something happens, you pass away, we will actually increase that benefit by 10% to the beneficiary. So we have a lot of categories that are covered under this policy. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go into every one of these. If you would like to go into what's covered under every one of these, definitely reach out to Jeff or myself. We can go into that and talk a little bit more. If I did it on here, we'd be here another hour, and I know you guys' time is very, very valuable. So I don't want to keep you on here any longer than we have to. But this accident insurance is going to cover you for these specific categories: initial care, emergency care, continued care, everyday, active life, specific, catastrophic, hospital, and surgery. And then there are a handful underneath each one of these that dive down deeper to really give you specifically what would be covered and what the amounts would be. We have a simple quote tool that you can use. You can go out to quickstart.assurity.com/agent-accident. And you can do this on your phone, your tablet, your computer. It's not an app, you just pull it up and you can do it right there with your client, give them the idea of what it would cost. And then you can also send that right to them as well. Last piece I want to bring up before I turn it back over to Tyler. Assurity is one of the few companies still out there that does participate in providing trips to their agents that do qualify. This year, we are proud to announce that we are qualifying agents for a trip to Barcelona in April of next year. If you have never been to Spain and thought about going, I would encourage you look into what it takes to get there. Reach out to Tyler, find out, or reach out to Jeff or myself. All 3 of us will be glad to tell you what it takes to get there and build a plan around getting you there. Spain is beautiful. I lived there for 3 years. I'm hoping I can get as many of you on the call out there so I can join you and get to enjoy some of the scenery and also the food and atmosphere as much as possible. But again, if you want to know what it takes to get to Barcelona, reach out to Tyler, Jeff, or myself, and we'll be glad to talk you through that. And with that, Tyler, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to you and see if there are any questions that Jeff and I can help answer for you.
Yes, thank you guys, and thank you guys for joining us, and thank you Travis and Jeff for the outstanding presentation. Very informative. I do see some questions, one from Karen Nally, and she's asking about, I imagine, the $6,000, so we're going to touch a little bit on the 1 and 2 year plan about W-2s. Travis, can you help me with that?
Yeah, what was the question?
So she's asking, with the monthly benefit of max $6,000, how are you determining that person's income, or how they could get a benefit amount of that amount?
So what I'll say, and maybe I need to clarify this, it's not a max of 6,000. What we're saying is 6,000 is the benefit amount. 6,000 and below would get you through with non-medical, non-income verification. Anything above that amount, so 6,000, like 6,001 up to 20,000, would be where we would be requiring medical exams, income verification, such like that. The product goes up to 20,000. It's just 6,000 is the threshold for non-med, non-income verification.
And Tyler, I'll add to that. And Karen may have been asking about this as well, but up to 6,000 with no, we're not requiring W-2s or anything. It's not like we're just doing the trust me method and saying, hey, you're telling us you make 100,000 a year. Those data points that Assurity has access to can verify a lot of the information that we're capturing during that application process. So I don't know that it necessarily says, yeah, they make exactly 77,800, but I believe it's probably going to give us enough information to know and feel confident that the income range that they're quoting that we're comfortable with. If that
Perfect.
makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense on my end, and I think that is the answer that she was looking for. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out to myself, Travis, or Jeff McClendon at Assurity. And this is my email. There's my phone number with my extension. If you have any questions after this or want a recording of the webinar, feel free to reach out and I will send it to you. And I appreciate you guys joining us.
Fantastic. Thanks, Tyler. We really appreciate you allowing us to come on today.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.